What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be taking a look at jealousy and a couple different ways you can identify jealousy in an astrological chart, different scenarios. This one's going to be interesting. It's Scorpio season, so I felt the need to talk about it. So, let's get into it. First thing I want to say is that I believe that, jealousy is a Scorpio or 8th house thing. It derives, it's a dark aspect of our psyche. And when I say dark, I don't even want it to entail like bad, but y'all know what I mean. It's just one of those things that result like a cause and effect based on human interaction. But let me take it a little further. I feel as though it is like a vibe. I'm going to say this. This is probably not the correct terminology, but it'll make sense. Like a vibrational glitch, or jealousy derives when your vibration goes below a particular notch, okay? And for those of you who know a little bit about human design, one thing that stood out to me was the not self, right? So I believe everyone has an aspect of themselves that's really not themselves. And so I don't believe that anyone is born a hater. I don't believe that anyone is born just purely jealous of others. It's kind of like it's a result of conditional factors, okay? And essentially like letting your vibration get too low. So that's how anyone's capable of jealousy. But I don't believe anyone is just naturally like this. I am a jealous person. And now, in terms of love, we know that is completely different. And I would just say, in regards to love, that is still a Scorpio thing. It's more so in the case of love and being like jealous of someone talking to your partner, because that person who is that jealous type of person, their vibration is that of intensity where they have to filter a natural paranoia that we all have of this interaction or how this person is with the person that they feel for. So I hope all that makes sense, but we use the same terminologies, but they're different, okay? But they both correspond 8th house, Scorpio, all of that, okay? So definitely felt the need to say all of that. Now, when these positions I'm talking about, you can look at them in the sense of a person who others are jealous of, and then also in the sense of that person possibly being jealous. It's just, this is where it's a matter of configuration and all of that, okay? All right, first one, the 6th house. And the 6th house is interesting, particularly in regards to this topic. So a lot of times in astrology, you'll find people mention the 7th house as the house of open enemies. And just in my studies and how I've seen is the axis of 6 and 12 pretty much open and hidden. And in terms of the 6th house, you find everyday obstacles and people are in your way, right, that make it difficult, and all in all, people who just may dislike you. So the example I'm telling y'all to all pay attention to the 6th house, but someone, let's say with maybe Venus in their 6th house, and not so, like, let's say Virgo, it doubles down on it. Let's say Venus here in Aquarius in the 6th house. This may be someone who are naturally just is detached from others. They themselves could be socially awkward, right? So, but what happens here, and this is the nature of life and duality, unintentionally, this person rubs people the wrong way. And then, especially in the example I'm using with Venus in Aquarius, being aloof, not wanting to be traditional or consciously charming and things like that, rebelling, and that rubbing people the wrong way, And, you know, we're talking about it in the sense of jealousy, but you don't really know this person. You don't know why they are that way, but it's just like, oh, something about this person's energy kind of irks me. So then when we add a little context to this, let's say something like the moon is present. This is a consistent theme within our relationships. And if we switch the combination, let's add something, maybe let's add in like a flamboyant sign, an Aries, a Leo here. That gives more of an outward reason for people to dislike. So all in all, Venus in the sixth naturally presents something where the individual they may be a little aloof or lacking in some type of social way. Now, before we move on, I should add that, Virgo people, you can also apply this towards yourself and also personal placements that you have there too. And I'm being really honest here. Also with this, there is a layer of attached to the sixth house in Virgo people, why people are jealous of them. The person who is being jealous is perceiving the individual in some type of way. And in the sense of Virgo and sixth house, it may be that you have it all together. They're perceiving you as having something that they unconsciously want to embody. All right. Next one. Opposition. Now, a person who finds themselves, others are jealous of them a lot. A common one here, and I just mentioned it, but you gotta know why, because it's like relationships and emotions attached. So, but a lot of times here, once again, moon opposite Venus will definitely produce this, and produce it from a standpoint of the person who others are jealous of has no animosity towards the people who are jealous of them. They're to some extent aloof, and we can add Neptune to this as well. Okay, but oppositions in general. Now, I want to flip it to you and make you think about it in the sense of relationships, synastry. So this is what I know. Opposite, and I'm such an optimist. I keep trying to find like so much good in oppositions, and you can, but the fact of the matter is they are a bit difficult. However, in terms of like long-term transits and stuff, it does help shit solidify and pay off. But anyway, in terms of relationships, it really does present the opportunity for wholeness. But that requires real maturity. Your opposite, a person with your opposite energy is really reflecting part of yourself to you. So if you are, let's say, needing to do shadow work or not aware of all the parts of yourself, and not ready to love or accept those parts of yourself, you will unconsciously have feelings towards the person you're with. And I'm talking about this in the sense of them radiating, just being themselves, reflecting to you the energy that you need by virtue of being the opposite half of that. And let me give a little bit more context. Let's go in the sense of the fourth house and the 10th house, right? If you have 10th house energy and another person has 10th house energy, and within your own individual chart, right? Not even coming into, but let's say they natally have the potential of 10th house. You natally have the potential of 10th house. And then your opposite signs in some way, this person, in however they are within the realm of career, is reflecting an energy that you should embody. Let's now say that person is reflecting, they are where they want to be and you are not. This is how you have people who don't appreciate good people in their life. And that is jealousy. It doesn't, the person could be in a whole, you'll be in a whole relationship going through, and this is where 8th house stuff comes in. There may be little power plays, little things they do to undermine the person. A lot of these, like I said, stem from not being able to appreciate oppositions. Frankly put, in the sense of why oppositions are kind of difficult, is because it's like Saturn. It's like Saturn. It's like, hey, this is what's real. This is what you need to do better, or this is you. It's kind of, and like I said, it requires maturity. And if you can be mature and like appreciate the differences you have with someone, that's how you get, power couples and all of that. But that's one that, pay attention to. Next one, and this goes for just people in general being jealous of them, but also intimate partners. Venus square Pluto. This whole thing we're doing here, y'all, is real honesty. This is like, it's Scorpio season. This is about raw. I think, and people, men or women, but I'm a guy, so I know more guys. Guys will tell you, yo, some of the best vagina I've had in my life have came with the most difficult women. This is the nature of Pluto. Love, hate. Feelings. Feelings are a major part of creation, and when you're dealing with Pluto, that is pure intensity. That's not necessarily the lightness of Gemini or whatever. It's that real shit. So what happens here, Venus square Pluto, it can be a lot of factors, and I'm not going to go into all of them. I'll just give one. One partner can be way more sexually comfortable with themselves, on some vain shit, more beautiful, and the person who's jealous unconsciously perceives it that way. It's a lot of shit with this, right? But Venus square Pluto, I'm not even gonna go on the tangent. If you got that, comment. If all of y'all, if you experience some of this, comment. Because this is real. This is raw. Next one, Chiron in the 7th, and then bring back what I said before with oppositions. What does Chiron in 7 naturally oppose? The first house. So if you have first house energy here in opposition to Chiron, amplifies this. And I could kind of sandwich Pluto in here too, but I'll do that in another video, because you could really, there's so many combinations with this. But Chiron in the 7th really is going to factor in on what the sign is and all of that. But Chiron in the 7th, people could be difficult. They could be difficult. They could bring out something in others, not intentionally. And it's not like they mean harm or anything, but, I'll say it like this. For, Chiron and Cancer people, especially if it's in the 7th house, your relationships are reflecting that of your parents. Okay? So if they was in some toxic shit, by virtue, even if you're not trying to be toxic, your toxic energy may be present in your partnerships and all of that. And then, like I said, in the next vein, how were your parents towards others? Did they garner a lot of jealousy? Shit like that. So Chiron the 7th is one where, like I said, if this is in Leo, if this is coupled with like a 12th house energy, so Chiron the 7th with some 12th house stuff, it's something you giving or I don't even want to say it like that, because I believe, this is the matrix, and it just works in a way where people bring the thing to you. Oh, I give a great example. Chiron in the 7th, they don't want to be disliked, or they don't want confrontation. But as a result, or in order to heal the wound, that's got to be had. So these scenarios are bound to come about regardless. Okay? And then lastly, I would just say 12th house. 12th house, secret enemies, all of that. You'll have to pay attention towards your intuition as a 12th house person, 12th house stellium. That's the best thing I do is pay attention to the fucking vibes and acknowledge that shit, okay? And be like, seriously, and I want to say for y'all, me playing this role in life helps me immensely identify finicky energy and all of that. Many times, when I do consultations with you guys, and it warms my heart, hours after or days after the consultation, I'll receive an email like, yo, like my spirits have been raised up since then, or, like your energy was great. So for me, I affirm to myself that, like, okay, I know I don't go around trying to give bad vibes, or, I don't fuck with low vibrational energy, and then others are validating that for me. If I come around someone who I feel like, okay, I know how interaction should go, that's my intuition letting me know, like, it's hard to explain, but I'm perceiving through my third eye. And it's like, if you know your energy and how that energy gets taken in, when it's off, you'll be able to read why. Not to say, oh, everyone's supposed to have a particular type of interaction. No, but like I said, you'll be able to read why it's off. Okay, but if you have like Neptune squares and shit like that, you don't want to be too abrasive and all of that. But still, at the same time, pay attention to the vibes. All right, so it's a quick part one. I'll probably in the future do a part 2 on this. Chime in, let me know what you think. Check out my website, Astrology of the Matrix. Got some deals running. Tap in, get a Mars retrograde reading. Join my Patreon. Till next time.